Barnstable this morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me now live on the phone, I welcome our Director of Public Works, Dan Santos. Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, doing well.
Beautiful day, another beautiful day with no snow here on Cape Cod. We like it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. So, Dan, I heard a little bit about a new project that is coming our way in dealing with Gateway Marina, and tell me a little bit about what this project entails.
Okay, this is a stormwater improvement project, and we've been fortunate enough to be selected by the Environmental Protection Agency to receive a grant to do some work on the stormwater system. Now, the area we're talking about is the area kind of between Pleasant Street and the Maritime Museum.
Okay.
On Hyannis Harbor there's this area. And what happens is stormwater, for decades and decades, has been collected all the way up near the Kmart Plaza. I mean, the stormwater system runs collecting runoff from rainwater on the roads and parking lots and all kinds of things, and moves its way underground through a series of pipes and catch basins and whatnot down and is deposited into the harbor. And it's not a good thing to have this, and but they're everywhere, these kind of systems, and little by little we try to attack them and put some treatment on them. So the EPA put out a kind of an invitation to communities on the Cape to compete for this grant money, and you could apply, and we did, and there were a number of communities that applied on the Cape, and we made the first cut, and the final cut was between Chatham and Barnstable, and it turns out they have enough money to do both projects, so both communities have been awarded. And the beauty of this is not just a grant, it's the EPA will actually design and construct the solution. Now,
Excellent.
Your next question might be, what's the solution? Well,
yes.
We don't know that yet. They're looking at using some new technologies, some kind of treatment technologies, so that we can't stop the water from moving. So what we're going to do is put some pre-treatment on it, so that what goes into the harbor is treated and not detrimental to the harbor itself. So this was just announced a week ago. So there'll be, I'm sure, a number of months of planning and getting input from the community and a design process, and ultimately some kind of construction project. We'll be working very closely with growth management because we have the various legacy trails and pathways that go through this area. And one of the things that the EPA was interested in is picking a spot where people would see this and whatever they construct, so that it would be something that it could be educational as well.
Interesting. I think that is interesting, and we know that particular area is quite busy, especially during the summertime, and really even this time of year you've got a lot of traffic going to the ferries that are in that area. So interesting that they really want the public to take notice of efforts to kind of deal with some of this stormwater mitigation.
Right. So not only is it stormwater mitigation, it's kind of public relations in a way to get people smart about the value of these kind of projects to our coastal water bodies.
Will it be something that you imagine kind of there will be signage up kind of explaining what the project is and the function that it's serving and why the work is being done?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Are there other projects like this somewhere in the state that we know of, or is this kind of a new thing that the EPA is taking on that you know of? Yeah,
this is a new thing. The EPA generally doesn't have these kind of grants. I mean, their money moves through the state usually, so to have a direct project with the EPA where they're funding and constructing, it's very unusual. But I think it shows the importance of this to that agency.
Great. So the grant is going to fund the whole process from design to construction. That's fantastic. And so how soon will kind of research start on that design? Is there a framework in place for the research already, or is that something that's going to have to kind of start from scratch?
Yeah, no, that's underway right now. And I imagine, and I'm really guessing here, I imagine in the next 6 months we'll see some kind of conceptual design proposals put forth for what they're thinking of. But I don't have all the information yet. Again, this information was just released last week, but we're delighted because these kind of projects can be very costly, and with a limited capital budget, they can take a chunk out of that. So we'll be able to do continue work on roads or some of our buildings and not have to spend this money.
Absolutely. And speaking of the capital budget, I know we're in that time of year. Have you guys kind of wrapped up your capital budget proposal at this time, or is there still a little bit more work left to do?
Yes, we, Public Works and Community Services, we do most of the capital projects for them as well, as they are infrastructure projects. We have met with the management team, the town manager, to explain the projects that we submitted a couple of months ago. And so that process is very much in place. I know there's a review team that rates all the projects and gives them points, and that's been done. And now they're talking about projects, and we're doing some final tweaking. Some of these meetings result in consolidating projects or making them a little different as we talk through them. So it's a good process to refine them and get the right projects in front of them.
Are there any specific, major projects? I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, but that you're really hoping make the cut for this year?
Well, the road improvement capital project, which is one they've funded for the last, 7 years, I guess, $3.25 million. We really rely on that here at Public Works to keep our roads in tip-top shape and to continue that trend towards having better roads. And if we can keep this funding in place for that, I think it will serve everyone well. So that's a highlight. And then our guardrails and sidewalks, public safety projects. And a new project we put in this year was to replace all of the school zone flashing lights. So when you're driving, it says slow 20 miles per hour. We want to replace all of those with solar ones that are the latest, brightness and safety. They're LED lights. They're solar. We can save money and have a safer school zone. So that's a project I'm excited about, and hopefully will make the cut.
Very cool. Well, Dan, I thank you so much, as always, for joining us here on Barnstable this morning. A pleasure to have you as a guest on our program, and we will talk with you again in a couple of weeks. Have a great day.
Pleasure to be with you. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Dan Santos is our Director of Public Works, joining us here on Barnstable